and they are round. And he says they're doing the strangest thing.
Antarctica might harbor secrets beyond our wildest imagination. Despite its barren exterior, this remote frozen continent stands as an enigmatic realm, consistently unveiling puzzling discoveries to scientists and explorers alike. The US Navy proposes a staggering notion beneath the icy facade of Antarctica: the potential presence of extraterrestrial beings. What specific evidence supports the Navy's claim about extraterrestrial life being concealed within the depths of Antarctica? Most importantly, how does this challenge our conventional understanding of this remote and icy landscape? Join us as we explore the US Navy's terrifying claim that aliens are hiding in Antarctica. Brace yourself for a journey into the heart of one of Earth's most cryptic landscapes. Antarctica is an extreme region, being the Earth's coldest, driest, and windiest continent. It is massive and the 5th largest continent on Earth, covering over 32 million square miles. Despite its harsh conditions, mysteries hidden beneath its frozen surface have puzzled people for a long time. One mystery involves a map from the 1500s, created before Antarctica was officially discovered in 1820. The map, known as the Perry-Rice map, raises questions about how ancient mapmakers knew about Antarctica and why they depicted it so accurately without modern technology. Historians and scientists have tried to solve this puzzle for decades, but clear answers are still hard to find. Another mystery is why there are so few people in Antarctica. Even though it's huge, with over 32 million square miles, there are less than 10,000 people there, primarily scientists and researchers on a temporary basis. It could be due to its super harsh and unwelcoming environment. Its temperature is usually around minus 56.2 degrees Fahrenheit, which can drop to a bone, chilling minus 128.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Also, the winds are powerful, reaching over 186 miles per hour, and snowstorms can last for weeks. With all these challenges and a landscape with few plants or animals, except for tricky penguins and seals, Antarctica is not an easy region for people to live in. The colossal ice sheet covers 99% of the continent, reaching thicknesses of up to 2.5 miles and holds 90% of Earth's total ice. Its potential melting poses a threat, with a rise in sea levels by 60 meters, endangering coastal cities and islands globally. Antarctica's allure has attracted explorers and adventurers, some successful, some not, and others who never returned. Among these tales, a chilling encounter unfolds. This is the story of a US Navy flight engineer's shocking experience in Antarctica. His encounter raises questions about what he witnessed and challenges preconceived notions about the frozen continent. What did the engineer see, and what implications does it have for the destiny of humanity? The answers are about to unfold. In the chilly month of January 2015, the esteemed investigative reporter Linda Moulton Howe found herself in possession of an email that defied the ordinary. The sender, a retired naval flight engineer seeking anonymity, chose to go by Brian. This desire for secrecy was not unfounded, as Brian was on the verge of disclosing a series of bone-chilling events from his past, mirroring the harsh Antarctic winds. Between 1983 and his retirement in 1997, Brian had served in the frigid wilderness of Antarctica, renowned for its brutal and unforgiving conditions. As proof of his service, Brian presented Linda with his DD 214 documents and other certificates, including an Antarctic Service Medal awarded to him on November 20th, 1984. These documents unmistakably verified his time spent in the frozen solitude of Antarctica. As a flight engineer, Brian had logged over 4,000 hours in the air over the continent. In that time, he claimed to have witnessed phenomena beyond most people's imagination. According to Brian, the Antarctic landscape appeared more alien than earthly, a place of stark beauty and mystery. Brian's duty station was the McMurdo Station in Antarctica, a location as remote as it was enigmatic. Located on the southern peninsula of Ross Island, McMurdo was the largest research station on the continent, established by the US government in 1956. Brian had flown to almost every part of the Antarctic continent, including the South Pole, over 300 times, and considered McMurdo Station the operational hub during their yearly deployments. The Transantarctic mountain range, situated between McMurdo and the South Pole, was visible from the altitudes of their flights, approximately 25,000 to 35,000 feet. A bustling hub of activity, the mountain range accommodated up to 1,200 residents at any given time. Throughout his tenure, Brian and his crew were tasked with flying cargo and conducting rescue operations in the challenging Antarctic environment. Their deployments to this isolated land occurred from late September to the end of February each year, establishing a routine that continued until the squadron was decommissioned in 1999. Brian frequently shuttled people to and from various locations during the Antarctic Squadron expedition missions. In his conversations with Howe, Brian admitted that initially, everything seemed ordinary. It was just another day in the life of a naval flight engineer. However, as the days stretched into weeks and months, a series of inexplicable incidents unfolded around Brian. The initial occurrence involved the sudden and unexplained disappearance of researchers working on a project in the nearby mountains. Brian and his team were dispatched to investigate the incident, but their search revealed no trace of the missing researchers. The only anomaly they discovered was a peculiar silver object partially buried in the snow, its origin and purpose unknown. A week later, the researchers reappeared at their camp and contacted McMurdo for a pickup. Brian's crew, familiar with the terrain and location, flew them back. Strangely, none of the scientists would communicate with the crew, appearing visibly scared. In another startling incident during a mission in the Transantarctic Mountains, Brian and his crew witnessed an inexplicable phenomenon. Several silver, round-shaped objects darted through the sky in a bizarre synchrony. These objects zigzagged from one peak to another, moving together in a peculiar formation. Brian described the phenomenon saying, "They're doing the strangest thing, going from this peak in a group to that peak in a group, and then they'd all take off." If only Brian had been the only one to see these things, it could have been easy to think he was imagining them or that it was a trick of the light. But many people witnessed these objects, leaving no room for doubt. The sight was so unusual that Brian was sure these objects weren't from Earth. Interestingly, Brian shared that these sightings weren't isolated. They happened repeatedly, making it a recurring phenomenon. This revelation raises a lot of questions. What were these strange objects that Brian and his crew kept seeing? Could they be proof of alien spacecraft? According to Brian, his time in Antarctica was filled with numerous and puzzling events. Each incident seemed like a piece of a puzzle, forming a picture of a world very different from the ordinary. Another incident occurred during a rescue mission Brian was assigned to. While the mission seemed routine on the surface, the circumstances were anything but routine. Brian had to go through a no-fly zone, an area strictly off-limits to everyone. Despite the risk, the decision was made to proceed because lives were at stake and time was running out. As Brian embarked on the rescue mission, he had no idea of the chilling encounter awaiting him. A massive cave entrance appeared as his aircraft crossed into the forbidden no-fly zone. This hole in the ice was huge, with a diameter estimated by Brian to be at least 200 feet. The sight was enough to send shivers down anyone's spine, even in the freezing Antarctic winds. The real fear kicked in when all the equipment on board suddenly stopped working after the crew completed the medical recovery and was returning to base. Brian and his crew were surprised to find men in suits at the base who were clearly not from McMurdo. These individuals, who seemed to be from Washington, D.C., stood out with their attire and demeanor. The reason for their presence so far from their officers became clear when they issued a stern warning to Brian and his crew. The crew was instructed never to fly over the massive hole again and to keep its existence a secret. This directive was as chilling as the Antarctic winds themselves. Despite their efforts to silence the eyewitnesses, the massive hole on the Antarctic surface couldn't be erased from existence. Brian's account suggested that the hole might be an entrance to something, but what could it be? Was it a gateway to an underground alien colony that the US government desperately wanted to keep hidden? While Antarctica is often seen as a barren wasteland and inhospitable to life, researchers have uncovered compelling evidence suggesting the possibility of life beneath its thick ice sheets. Near Mount Erebus, a volcano has created a network of ice caves. Inside these caves, temperatures can reach a balmy 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Researchers speculate that the combination of Antarctica's cold and the volcano's heat may have created a cozy environment, a stark contrast to the harsh exterior. The lead researcher from the Australian National University made some surprising discoveries inside the ice caves near Mount Erebus. Forensic soil studies found traces of DNA from algae, mosses and small animals, even though no visible plants or animals were present in the caves then. The research team believes that the warm conditions have led to the evolution of new species, possibly entirely different from those found elsewhere. With this evidence, it becomes more plausible to consider the existence of alien life forms in Antarctica. The idea is both thrilling and terrifying, especially when considering Brian's observations of unidentified flying objects, strange phenomena, and a large hole in the ice. What adds to the intrigue is that Brian and his team were instructed to keep their discovery a secret. If nothing was unusual about the hole, why would authorities go to such lengths to silence the pilots and their crew? Brian's experiences are not isolated. Others have witnessed extraordinary events in Antarctica. His observations align with those of another well-known adventurer, Admiral Richard Byrd, who explored the icy wilderness in 1947. During his expedition to the South Pole, Byrd reported a remarkable discovery, an enormous entrance to an underground world. These revelations from one of the most accomplished aviators in the US military sent shockwaves around the world. Admiral Byrd was no ordinary explorer. As a highly decorated naval officer, he was a navigator and expedition leader on numerous missions across the Atlantic Ocean, a segment of the Arctic Ocean and the Antarctic Plateau. Admiral Byrd made significant contributions to exploration, including the discovery of Mount Sidley, the largest dormant volcano in Antarctica. His reputation was built on impressive credentials and groundbreaking discoveries. Byrd's fascination with flying over icy landscapes began when he soared over the shining sea ice and grand glaciers of western Greenland. During this time, he first heard a fascinating rumor about a secret passage to the mysterious center of the Earth, hidden within the frozen heart of the South Pole. Captivated by this incredible idea, he embarked on daring expeditions, skillfully navigating his planes toward the unexplored areas of the South Pole. On May 9, 1926, Byrd and his skilled pilot Floyd Bennett boldly declared themselves the first to conquer the daunting journey over the icy expanse of the North Pole. Their epic adventure commenced from Kings Bay in Pittsburgh and Norway, taking an astounding 15.5 hours in the skies. Along their route, they faced minor challenges, including an oil leak in one of the engines. Despite these, their determination remained unshaken. News of their triumphant achievements spread swiftly, prompting a nationwide celebration that hailed them as national heroes. Their courage and daring captivated imaginations far and wide, earning them the revered Congressional Medal of Honor. Despite some skepticism regarding whether they truly reached the elusive North Pole, their audacious journey left a profound impact. It inspired generations of explorers and etched an unforgettable chapter in the annals of aviation and exploration. Byrd's legacy continued with a series of daring expeditions to Antarctica, marked by remarkable accomplishments and a relentless pursuit of discovery. His commitment to unraveling the mysteries of Antarctica showcased unparalleled dedication, evident in the monumental undertaking of Operation High Jump. Some of Byrd's most mysterious findings remained shrouded in secrecy until the discovery of his long-lost diary. Byrd's journey to Antarctica took a mysterious turn in 1947 during Operation High Jump. Task Force 68, under his command, set out on an epic journey, but the abrupt suspension of the mission raised questions about the significance of the missing diary. In his Base Camp Arctic flight log, Byrd detailed his extraordinary journey to the Arctic in 1947. The journal documented his encounters with previously unseen mountain ranges and mysterious issues with navigation instruments. There were even details about unearthly flying objects engaging in a brawl with his team. Byrd's encounters with inspiring landscapes and enigmatic entities added an exhilarating layer to his extraordinary journey. In his diary, Byrd described an exceptional flight where he unexpectedly found himself on a mysterious mountain range. Contrary to the anticipated icy vistas, he discovered a vibrant and lush expanse teeming with life. This remarkable discovery happened during his February expedition into the depths of the Earth, where he purportedly glimpsed a colossal creature known as a mammoth. As he ventured deeper into this captivating realm, he encountered even more extraordinary marvels that left him in profound wonder. The intricacies of what he witnessed and experienced during this remarkable flight will captivate and intrigue an average person. When he announced the existence of a large opening at the South Pole that delved deep into the Earth, the public was understandably astonished. According to Byrd, this ice-free zone was not barren but teeming with various alien life forms. If true, this claim would redefine our understanding of life and its potential habitats. The timing of Byrd's revelations adds an intriguing twist to the story, as he made these startling statements while still in Antarctica's harsh and remote landscapes. Upon his return to the US, Byrd faced intense interrogation about his claims, which the government immediately suppressed. Byrd was portrayed as a man known to make false claims, and it is believed that he was ordered to stay quiet on the matter. The question arises, why would the government want to silence him? What motives or interests could be behind suppressing Byrd's claim of an underground world in Antarctica? One possible motive is national security. If Byrd's claim were true, it would imply the existence of a hidden civilization or territory unknown to the rest of the world. The government might have sought to keep such information under wraps to maintain control and prevent potential international complications. If there are inhabitants in the underground world, their nature and intentions could present either a threat or an opportunity. The government may seek to keep this information secret to avoid conflicts or competition with other nations. There could also be an interest in exploring and exploiting the resources and technology of the underground world for the benefit of the US. Some theories suggest that Byrd's Operation High Jump expedition was part of a secret military operation. This operation aimed to establish a US base in Antarctica and investigate the possibility of Nazi activity in the region. Another motive could be economic interests. Antarctica is a vast and resource-rich continent with various territorial claims and disputes. The Antarctic Treaty System, signed in 1959, prohibits military or commercial activities in Antarctica. If Byrd's claim were true, revealing a massive unexplored area in Antarctica, it could contain valuable resources such as oil, gas, minerals, and fisheries. The government might want to keep this information secret to avoid legal or ethical issues. They would want an advantage over other countries in accessing and controlling the underground world. A third possible motive is public opinion. Byrd was a famous and respected explorer with a significant following. His claim of an underground world in Antarctica was sensational and controversial. This could potentially influence the public's perception and attitude toward exploration, science, and the government. The government might want to manage public opinion and avoid creating panic or skepticism. In summary, the secrecy surrounding Byrd's claims could be driven by concerns related to national security, economic interests, and public perception. The potential threats or opportunities presented by the discovery of an underground world in Antarctica raise complex considerations for governments. The government's motive in suppressing Admiral Byrd's claim might be to avoid public outcry, confusion, or excessive curiosity, and maintain its credibility and authority. Some argue that Byrd's claim was a hoax or a publicity stunt, and the government might have been complicit in covering it up or spreading misinformation. A fourth possible motive is related to scientific credibility. Byrd's assertion of an underground world in Antarctica was extraordinary and implausible. It contradicts established scientific knowledge and evidence about the Earth's geology and biology. The government might want to suppress Byrd's claim to protect the reputation and integrity of the scientific community. This could be to prevent false or misleading claims from undermining scientific progress and discovery. Some experts have challenged Byrd's claim based on navigational errors, lack of evidence, or inconsistencies with the physical laws and conditions of the Earth. However, the experiences of both Brian and Byrd in Antarctica present a fascinating mystery that the land holds. Brian's account appears to confirm what Byrd saw all those years ago, but unfortunately, the government met both men with the same indifference. This raises questions about whether there are indeed secrets that governments might be hiding about the icy wilderness of Antarctica. As for Brian's testimony, whether confessing anonymously about what he saw was a good idea depends on various factors. Anonymity might protect him from potential repercussions, but it also makes it challenging to verify the credibility of the testimony. Ultimately, what one thinks of Brian's testimony would depend on personal beliefs and perspectives on the existence of unknown phenomena in Antarctica. Thanks for watching another episode of Voyager. While you're still here, make sure to click the video on your screen for more